Let us try to understand how to implement queues using Bullmq and Bullboard in Node.js. We will also understand the foundational concepts in this queues. So in typical queue, what happens is that we have a queue and we insert the jobs in it, and then there are workers which pick up these jobs and process those jobs. Okay. So Bullmq is one software that you can use to create the queues, and then you can also create workers that will consume those jobs or process those jobs. So let us see how to do that. Now, first thing is we need to create a queue, right? So how do you create a queue? So here is a Node.js example. We are using this Bullmq module, and then here we are creating one queue. Okay, this is how we create a queue, new queue, and this is basically email queue, which is used to create or process the emails. Okay, and to put the job in this particular queue, you can use this add method. So this is the job name and then job data. So that's it. So that's how you can create a queue and insert the job into the queue. Now, once the job is here, you can see that we have got this J1, J2, J3. These are the different jobs over here in this queue. Once the jobs are there in the queue, there has to be a worker that will pick up job one by one and then process it. So we can have multiple workers, but for simplicity, let's have one worker only. So how do you create a worker using Node.js? For that, we can again use this Bullmq module, and then we are using this worker class in that. And here, basically, what we are telling is that this worker is gonna process the jobs in the queue named as email. Okay. And once the job is there in the queue, it is gonna pick it up. Job data will be sent as a parameter, and then we can process that job. That's it. Once the job is processed, there are different events that happen, and they are called as queue events. Okay. Again, we have to use Boolean queue module, and then there is this queue events class. So basically, here we are creating the instance of that particular class, and we are passing email. So basically, all the events that are happening in this particular email queue can be processed by this email events instance. So basically, it is a kind of a listener for this email queue. So for example, let's say one job is completed, then this completed event gets invoked, and then after this event is invoked, we want to do some processing, right? So this is how we can do that processing. For example, job is completed, or if you want to send email, or like there can be different things that we can do after that job is completed, or sometimes job may be uh, not completed successfully. So for example, failed. So those events can also happen, and then we can handle those over here. Next concept is bullboard. So let us try to understand what is this bullboard. So you can see that there are a lot of things that are happening in this code, right? We are creating queue, we are adding jobs into the queue, then there is a worker that is processing it. Then once the worker finishes that processing, then a job is completed. So after the job is completed, uh, that is pushed to the different stack, or the we can also see the history. Now, how do you visualize all these things that are happening in the background? And that is exactly why this bullboard is created. It's basically UI. It's basically a website where you can see what's happening in your queues. So there can be multiple queues. So in this example, we have just created one queue, that is email queue, but there can be different queues to process different types of jobs. So here you can see how we can create bullboard. So basically, as I said, this is a web server. So we need this Express module, which allows you to create web servers, and then there are different modules coming from this bullboard, like Bullmq adapter, Express adapter, create bullboard, etc. So basically, what we are doing is that we are doing same thing. We are creating a queue, and then we are using this Express adapter. Then we are creating bullboard, where we specify the queue. Here you can give multiple queues, and then server adapter, and then finally we are using this Express to launch our server on the port 3000, and then you can access your queues over here slash admin slash queues. So basically what's happening is that whatever queues you have created, in this example we have created one queue, email queue. So that email queue you can view like what's happening, what are the jobs in the queue, what how many jobs are being in progress, how many are in waiting state. So everything is visible on the UI, which is very useful for administration purposes.